Hi guys, Theme Park Central here. So today we're here for our catch-up video. So you saw my Fright Nights video earlier, 3 days ago now. Sorry for the delay in upload. But yeah, we're going to do a deep sort of integrating with what's happening with Fright Nights 2020. So it looks like a really strong lineup, and we're going to have a little look and a proper look into what's happening with it and what we can expect for the 2020 event. Also, sneak peek, updated merch tour coming soon. Okay, so we're going to start by watching the Fright Nights video, which I'm just going to get up here. We're going to start by watching that, and yeah, this is the video of the Fright Nights 2020, their launch video, which I must say is, I love the video. I love the first bit of the Terror Amity High School Sucks, that music. If you can release that, that would be so sick. But yeah, we're gonna have a look at that and let's watch it. Terror Amity High, love it. Of course. The Howling. Well, I've read into all of these in quite detail. The crowns, that looks really that looks really interesting actually. That also looks interesting. Looking at that, that is a good way of using the branding, I think, to move on the maze to outside. Fearstival Arena. Of course, UK's most thrilling rise in the dark, Colossus. Little stealth and sword, Samurai. And Platform 15. One of the strongest mazes in my mind. Roots of Evil, that looks really interesting. So that was the video. Of course you saw that in the last video, but we're going to have a proper in-depth look now at Fright Nights 2020. So having a little look at the Thought Park website now, we've got some really interesting content here. So Fright Nights Fearstival, that is what they're branding it as this year. So essentially what they've done is they've moved on the Fright Nights branding, which I think suits COVID, because obviously we haven't got as many mazes, we haven't got as many I think it's still a good lineup, but obviously it's not mazes and stuff for this year, so they've rebranded it as Fearstival, which I think was a very good move from Thought. So let's have a little read of the description. At Fright Nights Fearstival, your darkest nightmares are set to reawaken as the UK's premier and award-winning Halloween event returns with a sinister twist. Take the chilling atmosphere, take on some of Europe's most thrilling rides at the dead of night, but be aware, fear is lurking around every corner. One way ticket on Platform 15, of course, and then new for 2020, the Roots of Evil, which looks really interesting. I'm pretty sure, looking at the Roots of Evil, it's located where Blair Witch was in the last 2-3 years, I think, no, 2 years, which last year was so strong for Blair Witch, really strong event. So let's have a look first at the Howling of Lycanthrope High. So that is in Scare Zone, which is located in, I'm not sure, they haven't actually stated where it's located, but I'm presuming, oh, the Cantina, so where Do or Die was. So then Cantina is the new, I think it used to be called Crust. But yeah, that's that's basically where Do or Die was last year. The Walking Dead Do or Die. If you didn't do that, it was a good maze last year. But yeah, so that looks really interesting. So presumably that's something to do with, it says about werewolves, and it reminds me of is Terror Amity High. I think it was called that in 2018. So they didn't have Terror Amity High School Sucks in 2018, so they had these sort of werewolf vampire things, like they'd make you eat sort of things off a tray, and it was a weird experience. But yeah, it was that. I think that's what we're looking at with this one. Cool logo there. I love all the logos for this year as well. It looks really interesting. Okay, let's have a little look at the Fearstival Arena. Now that looks really interesting. So the Fearstival Arena is in a dockyard, so that is sort of where the Oktoberfest on very soon. I've got an Oktoberfest vlog, so on Friday I'm going down to Thorpe. I'm going to go experience Oktoberfest. So I'm going to have a vlog from there. But yeah, this is in the dockyard, so outside Darren Brown's, where I'm presuming they're going to reuse the stage from Oktoberfest in this Fearstival arena, which it looks really interesting. I can't really smoke and mirrors. It says I'm presuming it's going to be some sort of live show, but I don't know. It sounds to me, it reminds me of Black Mirror, so the picture of Black Mirror. So I don't know if could we see any instant twine. I don't think we could, but it would be interesting to see what they do with this. But I think this is sort of like the centre of Fright Nights. The Fearstival arena sort of is the not the main attraction, but the main, because the dockyard's right in the middle of Thorpe. Yeah, lovely logo there as well. We've got a little clown in the background. Okay, let's have a look at Creek Freaks Unchained. Now, obviously last year we had Creek Freak Massacre, which was last year's sort of flagship main scare maze, new for 2019, which was absolutely brilliant. If you didn't experience that, hopefully it'll be back next year, because it was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, I love what they did with the talking of the actors, because it wasn't just actors screaming in your face. They actually talked to you and interact with you, which I thought was really, really good. But yeah, so that's Creek Freaks Unchained as a scare zone. So new for 2020. How much wood would a wood chop if a wood chop could chop you? Which was the last year's sort of first of the Creek Freak Massacre. That was in the first bit of the description as well. The Freaks of Creek have hacked their way out the Creekwood sawmill and are wreaking havoc in the town. Tread carefully past this deranged family of lumberjacks, or lest you'll find yourself chugging gasoline fumes on the wrong end of the chainsaw. Brace yourself and prepare for the most gruesome worst as you take on the Chainsaw Massacre of Creek Freaks Unchained. So this is a scare zone located in Old Town, right outside of Creek Freak Massacre. So I don't know, could we see some sort of intertwine with Creek Freak Massacre? I don't know, but that would be really good. This looks really interesting actually. I would love to see if they actually have chainsaws sort of out of the maze, which sounds like it. So they sort of run at you with chainsaws in the scare zone, which would be really, really good. Okay, let's have a little look at the Swarm Invasion, which is absolutely brilliant. I love this because obviously Towers have done the themes of the mazes, like themes of the mazes. I can't think of one example. Can't think off the top of my head, but they've done themes of the mazes based on new rides. So every year before a new ride, there's been a maze at Scarefest. So this is really interesting about Swarm. So yeah, Swarm Invasion looks really, really good. And this is obviously on Swarm Island. So I wasn't here for the start of opening of the Swarm. I wasn't at Thorpe Park because I was probably about 8. I don't know. I have to think about it. 9 maybe. But yeah, so could we see the intertwine with Les Coogan? I don't know if you know, this was a roaming actor that before Swarm opened would roam around the park and sort of tell people that the end was coming and the Swarm, sort of explaining people about the theme of the Swarm, which is really interesting. But yeah, so the Swarm Invasion, enter the I can't even say that, wasteland after the Swarm has invaded, leaving a path of carnage and desolation in its wake. Head with caution as you pass through this alien-infested landscape and pray you aren't abducted by these otherworldly extraterrestrials. The end is now. So, that looks really interesting. Just a thought, but could we be seeing something happening on the other island located next to Swarm? That would be really interesting. The sort of Swarm Island 2, as you would. I tend to call it RMC Island, but but yeah, so could we see something going on there? I really highly doubt it, but it'd be interesting. Swarm, it looks really good, and what I thought I noticed in this one is that the picture, I thought I'd seen the back 2 rows were backwards. Now I'm looking at it, I haven't, but it would be really good if they did bring Baber backwards back, but I highly doubt it. It's basically not guaranteed. But yeah, that's the Swarm Invasion. Okay, so finally we have the Crows, which looks really weird actually. Near the Crows goes, are they watching? Nobody knows. Myths passed from down from a generation. Did that just move, or was it your imagination? They roam and creep at the dead of night, They blink and they've gone out of sight. Near the crows, nobody goes. Are they watching? Nobody knows. And it says appearing at various mystery locations from 3 p.m. So 3 p.m. is obviously when all the frights start. So it has been the same every year, 3 p.m. till 10, or this year's till 9. They're opening till 9 this year all the time. So they did do some earlier in the year. They were looking at 10 at some dates at 10 o'clock and some dates 8 o'clock. Now all the dates are now 9 o'clock, which is good. And yeah, it was nice till 10, but I think for sort of COVID and stuff and keeping things clean, it'll probably be easier to put it at 9. But yeah, the crows, that looks really, really interesting. I can't really describe anything. His eyes, it looks like some weird, it looks really weird, to be honest. This bit that I'm looking at now, it's like a material, what you get those not wicker bags, but you know the really rough bags that you do like helter-skelters or something in. Looks like that, and it also reminds me of, just trying to think of the name of it now. Got it over here. It's Vulcan Peak. You had a bag on your head. It was in the old I'm a Celebrity building. Vulcan Peak, you had that sort of material bag. So could we be seeing people without faces? Because there are, maybe could work as a face mask just with eye cut-offs. I don't know. All pure speculation. But yeah, and then so that's the crows. And then there's 2 more things to look at. So obviously we've got Platform 15, which is really interesting what they've done this year. So they've, obviously you know about Platform 15, if you haven't then watch probably one of my older videos. But now they're charging you £10 per maze, or £9 if you're a Merlin or Thorpe Park pass holder. So I can see why they've done it, but it's annoying for people. But I can see why they've done it. Obviously they've lost a lot of money with COVID. They need to try and recoup some of that back. The other thing I was thinking, there won't be any queue line for platform. It'll be, I've looked at it, you pre-book a time. So I think the fact that you pre-book a time means that there's no worrying about social distancing in the queue line, which is also another thing. And the reason they're charging money as well is to sort of stop people from just pre-booking. I know Platform 15, they're not bothering turning up. So if you booked and paid £10, you're gonna want to turn up, sort of thing. So yeah, I think that's Platform 15, and then there's the last thing we're going to talk about today is Roots of Evil, which is another scare maze, which says it's located in the jungle opposite Wilderness Waffles. So Wilderness Waffles is there's a little sort of stand outside Wilderness Bar and Kitchen, which is the thing with the big white sort of roof, canvas roof. But yeah, so that pretty much guarantees it's where Blair Witch was. Because that's literally the only place opposite Wilderness Waffles where Blair Witch was. So this is pretty much guaranteed to be located next to Blair Witch, where Blair Witch was. Unearth the horrors that lurk within a forsaken forest and prepare to meet the terrifying abominations that dwell within. Move discreetly through the dark undergrowth and pray your presence goes unnoticed, or risk becoming one of the forgotten forever. So that sounds really strong. Actually, I'm going to at least do that a couple of times. Obviously, I probably won't be doing the mazes every time this year, because I'll be doing some twice, 2 mazes. I'll be doing sort of 4 mazes in, like last year's Fright Nights, I'll be doing 4 mazes in every time I go. Obviously, I'll probably end up doing this maze twice and platform twice, maybe 3 times on this one maximum. Obviously, because there is a book charge. But I can see why Thorpe are doing it. I totally understand. But hopefully, maybe next year when we get more mazes, we might not see that charge. But I don't know. To be honest, Towers charge for their mazes, so I wouldn't see why Thorpe didn't carry on with it. To be honest. But yeah, so that is the full Fright Nights lineup in full detail. So we've got the merch tour coming very soon. We've also got, I've got a lot of editing to do. We've got a Legoland vlog. We've got a, it's Alton Towers vlog is also coming, a Chessington one, a merch tour, and my Oktoberfest Thorpe Park. So there's a lot of catching up to do. I'm going to try and get a video out every week, to be honest. So hopefully we'll be getting weekly content for the next few weeks, hopefully until close season maybe. I might be able to get out some weekly content. Try and sort of change my upload schedule, because sometimes it's a break of a month and then sometimes it's 2 videos in a week. So we need to try and sort that upload schedule out. But thank you so much if you subscribed, and if you're not subscribed, why don't you? It's a great channel. I'm really trying to make this channel grow, so please do consider subscribing. I bring out theme park content like this, and Fort Park, Alton Towers, Legoland, Chessington. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.